The GH5 has a secret. It might be the greatest Super 8 camera out there. Let's take a closer look. Hi, I'm Joe for Video, and like many of you, I just love the look and feel of real film. It's no surprise that directors like Christopher Nolan and J.J. Abrams choose to shoot the movies on film, rather than faster and most of the time cheaper digital cameras and sensors. But we are not Chris or JJ. We have to work with smaller budgets. I would love to shoot on real film. I tried to shoot a feature-length film on Kodak 3 Super 8 film stock, but I didn't have the budget. And so I went on and got really fond of my vintage lenses, which can give you a very organic non-digital look. When I tried to shoot on film, I got a used Beaulieu 4008 ZM2, which broke after just shooting 3 cartridges of film. So this camera just became a nice decorative element in my apartment. But I wondered if I could use this lens on front of my GH5. This is a Schneider-Kreuznach Optivaron 6 to 70mm with a continuous f-stop of 1.4. Since the lens is a C-mount, it's easy adaptable to the GH5. But when I put the lens on the camera, I saw that the image circle of Super 8 is microscopic. Nothing film-like about it. But if we engage the Ex Tele Converter on our trusty GH5, we get a 1:1 crop of the sensor with a full HD image area of 1920 by 1080. And if we go even further and crop the sides of the image to get a more Super 8-like 4:3 aspect ratio, we get the exact same image size like we get with the old Beaulieu. But if you want a more cinematic image, you can crop the top and bottom to get a 2.35:1 aspect ratio. I know, nobody would recommend the Ex Tele Converter function of the GH5 or any other GH camera to get a nice image. Due to the nature of the IBIS sensor, you lose a lot of image quality and sharpness. Since it crops to a tiny full HD area in the middle of the sensor, you lose a lot of quality due to the nature of the IBIS pattern sensor. We lose about 20% of image sharpness in comparison to the downsampled full HD image of the full sensor. Also, the noise of the image is vastly magnified. Going above base ISO can introduce a lot of noise. And image profiles like Vlog are introducing even more noise. But Super 8 is very tiny. It's only quarter the size of Super 16, which is only quarter the size of Super 35, which is 75% of full frame. So film stock that gets cut down to the size of Super 8 is very tiny, very noisy and not that sharp. So even if you get the most modern 2K film scans with the most modern film stock like Kodak 3, you don't get an image that is sharper than 720p. In my opinion, the noisier and not that sharp footage of the GH5's crop mode is closer to the real thing than a crisp, clean HD image. When using the GH5, you might lose something, but you also gain a whole lot. Like the GH5 doesn't have a recording limit. The cartridges of Super 8 only last about 2 minutes of film stock. Also, you can shoot all eye in 200 mbits up to 60 frames per second in 10-bit color depth. That's amazing! Furthermore, you gain IBIS, which no Super 8 camera has. Don't forget to set the focal length in the camera menu when zooming in and out. What you also need to consider is that not many cameras are able to shoot on such a tiny sensor size. Even the hacked Magic Lantern cameras can't take C-mount lenses. And even in the Lumix lineup, only the cameras that use the 20 megapixel sensor are able to get such a small frame. Unfortunately, the GH5S won't be able to do that. The sensors on the sensor are much bigger, therefore the full HD crop area is much bigger than on the GH5. If you don't need 10-bit, the G90 will also do the job. And now I will show you how you get the last bit of that good old Super 8 mojo. For color grading, I like to use Film Convert. It gives you these nice film stock curves and also a touch of color which is not overly exaggerated. In case of recreating the real film look, I like to use the Fujifilm stock, which gives you a subtle magenta hue. Next we add grain. It gives the image the necessary film vibe and adds back a little bit of sharpness. It sounds counterintuitive at first, but trust me, it will look better. I don't really like the Super 8 grain, I think it's too mushy. I like to use the Super 60 film stock for grain. If you don't have film convert or don't want to use it, you can use any other color grading tool. Just give the middles a little magenta hue, and if you want, lift the shadows. You can also lower the highlights to give a nicer roll off and a vintage feel. For the film grain, you can find tons of it freely available online. Just Google for a minute, it's not hard to find. And that's it! You can use any Super 8 lens with a C-mount adapter on your camera to recreate the Super 8 film look. I know it's not real film, it's more like vintage lens adapting. But working with such tough conditions and such a small sensor size really gave me the right vibe. I won't use it for clients' work, but for creative and just for fun projects it's easier to do and a lot of fun. If you consider getting a lens like this for your camera, don't buy them separated from the old bodies, they might be much more expensive. Try to get a broken camera with the lens attached. You might get a better deal. And what about you? Do you think Panasonic accidentally invented the Digital Super 8 camera with the Lumix lineup? Did you go through the hassle of shooting on real film? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this content, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. It would really help me. I hope you have a nice day and create something beautiful.